I've heard a lot of conflicting narratives about the new DNC leader, Ken Martin, so I just wanted to make this video to give my opinions as someone who is a part of the DFL, which is the party that he ran from 2011 until he just won the DNC chair. So let's start with why I think Ken was actually a really good choice for the DNC. Now, I know a lot of people supported Ben Wickler. He was my second choice. He's also very good, very credible. But one of my main points for going for Ken Martin is that A, he's a winner. Okay, he has not lost a statewide election in the state of Minnesota since 2011. He is an alumni of the Wellstone campaign. Paul Wellstone, one of the progressive heroes of his time. And I think one of the most important reasons is that he's one of the few party chairs, state party chairs, maybe even the only, that has respect from everybody from conservative Democrats to Democratic Socialists and everybody in between. He has entered a genuine coalition with all of these different groups and has welcomed them in, unlike most state party chairs who try to shun usually the left flank of their party. So he has a track record of welcoming leftists into his organization, which is something the DNC has lacked and has paid for a very long time. Let's get into where the DFL was when he became the party leader. The DFL just lost the state house and state senate for the first time in 40 years. They had suffered massive electoral defeats on every level in 2010. The party also had more debt than the party had cash on hand. And since then, the DFL's out of debt. They have maintained majorities in both houses most of the time, but at least one house and the governorship every single election that he has been the party chair. And since he has been the party chair, the DFL has outraised Republicans 3-1. And to be clear, Minnesota has very strict election campaign finances. So you can't just accept random donations from billionaires in this state. You actually have to raise it from small dollars. So I think that is incredibly impressive. And even in 2024, even in a Republican wave year, the DFL didn't lose the House or the Senate in terms of they're not in the minority. Now they are tied with the Minnesota GOP in both of those houses, but nonetheless they didn't lose their majorities, so they at least still have some power. Now I know a lot of these I guess misconceptions about Ken Martin, as if he's like some sort of billionaire lackey, came from an unfortunate comment that he made about the quote unquote we like the good billionaires and not the bad ones. And I don't know why he said that. That's never reflected Ken throughout his tenure in Minnesota, and I hope it's not reflective of how he'll act as the DNC chair. But here's what I hope he can accomplish. First of all, bringing the ethos of the Democratic Farmer Labor Party to the national stage. This is one of the most progressive and working class based Democratic parties in the state. The DFL, we'll get into this a different time probably, but the DFL was a merger between the Farmer Labor Party and the Democratic Party in Minnesota under Hubert H. Humphreys. I hope he finds a way, in spite of that comment, to detach the Democratic Party from being completely dependent on big money donors and corporate donors, etc., so they can more actively represent the working class. I hope he revives the 50-state strategy, which I'm pretty confident he will based on how he acted as the party chair in Minnesota. And finally, I hope he sort of reestablishes a media landscape for the Democratic Party so we don't just have a complete right-wing media uh, media landscape. And that means both mainstream and independent media, and really reaching out to those people and helping build them up while he's building the party up. But that's my thoughts on Ken Martin and why we shouldn't totally write him off immediately before he gets the chance to do any work. Thanks.